Cutting you off there, Charles. That's your third conviction today. People will start to worry.
Caffeine is proven to lead to many positive health and research outcomes.
Welcome to the CAF integration point. Will it be caffeine or convictions today? Convictions are statements which promote personal and professional confidence and well-being, leading to 22.9% more scientific breakthroughs in a given quarter. Interested? Before I can administer your conviction, I need to ask you a question. In what area of your life do you feel you need the most improvement? Personal or professional? But if you had to prioritize one area over the other, expand on that for me. Oh, well, that's certainly specific. You will soon regain your professional momentum, augmented by your recent period of rest and reassessment. Good. Never forget that you are a valuable factor in the universal equation and necessary to advancing the plan. Now then, a brief conversation is customary following the initial service. I haven't seen you around before. New project appointment? Must be an adjustment, all things considered. Earth Directorate? In Arcadia? That's rather anomalous. And I'd go as far as to say wholly unexpected. By all means, continue. I'm fascinated to learn the particulars of this little mission of yours. What can I say? I'm especially well read. Understood. Agent, you know, I'm actually nearing the end of my shift. If you're amenable to continuing our chat somewhere more private, I think we could both benefit. Right this way.
And appease the superficial wants of their citizenry. Every new consumable must represent a 110% improvement, an insulting hyperbole of mathematics, and a gross disappointment of their subjects. Facilities produce micrograms that reduce the
You must be curious why I asked for such a discreet rendezvous. Allow me to whet your appetite for intrigue a little further, shall I? I have adequate reason to believe the Order is conducting a mass experiment on the population of Laplace's garden. You might put down your proverbial hand once you hear the specifics. The Order is not cultivating its perfect, plan-abiding society through careful ideological pruning, as the laureates would have you believe. It's simple pharmacology. Put bluntly, they're regulating the emotions of everyone in Laplace's garden through drugs in the water supply. Why would the Order want to create a society of undistractable little academics whose only desire is to advance the plan? I wonder. One could make that argument, and obviously have. The Order claims the subjects here supposedly consented to participate, but it was begun prior to the schism with the Protectorate, so who's to say? Regardless, if the Order has made some kind of pharmaceutical breakthrough, imagine how useful it might be to certain parties to know about it in advance. I represent a group of information traders who would pay well to get their hands on a sample of this drug. Interested? So you've heard of us. Good. That makes this easier. My primary task has been to watch the Order. But I'm confident my superiors would agree. Physical proof is of far greater value than mere rumor. Nothing nefarious, if that's the needle in your conscience. We only mean to study the drug and consider all of its many applications. I know that must read as terribly vague to you, but I'm not at liberty to provide more detail than that. All you need to do is enter water reconditioning and collect a sample of the drug. I believe they call it Perspective. This passcode will give you access to the main terminal. Watch the guards patrol before making your way into the facility. If worst comes to worst, I wager Laureate Beckett also has a keycard on him, but that might be tricky to lift. Lately, he's been sitting near the fountains, performing his silly little breathing exercises. If he's not there, then he's likely in conference with the presiding bishop. Whatever you do, be discreet. I can't have any laureates asking questions about me. Understood? It's too diluted by the time it enters circulation. I need the unfiltered drug, which is only accessible to those working in water reconditioning. Outside of work, I have, let's call it an alternative inventory. You'll have to pay, of course, but I'm sure I have something that'll make your job a little easier. And I'd like to offload some of this merchandise. Sounds like a win-win. You're back. Any luck with the sample? I'm charmed my name was among the first to populate your thoughts when attempting to work this problem. I have some Protectorate contacts, and I might be willing to lean my elbow on the scales in your favor, but not until after I've acquired my sample.
A second makeup exam will not be offered, so I hope you studied this time, Briar. You may begin. Now.
Right. No pressure.
Did you know around 1,000 species of bacteria live on human skin? A fascinating, if not relevant, bit of trivia. Wouldn't you agree? And prodding me was intended to elicit what result, exactly? At any rate, I am quite conscious, merely waiting. I can assure you that of my numerous psychic afflictions, narcolepsy is not one of them. Would that it were, but no. Sometime last year, I predetermined an occasion of momentous import would happen today, right here, at these very coordinates. Oh no. You know what they say about having too many totalizers on the same sum? Nothing gets solved. All the more reason I rely on my own math these days. Less room for error. Leslie Beckett, Oracle Laureate, Seer Supreme, leader of the Department of Predictive Analysis, and not terribly good at informal introductions, evidently. Forgive me if I don't shake hands. I prefer to keep my skin microbiome free of exogenetic cells. You understand. But now, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the agent we've been expecting. I knew loitering at this location would yield results. I don't suppose you've stumbled upon any of our excogitation chapels around Cloister by chance? Excogitation chapels are order residencies where one can meditate in solitude on specific theorems relating to the plan. They're scattered all around Cloister. Prior to the war, such focused study led to all manner of breakthroughs, with audio logs routinely kept by the scientician in residence. In these unprecedented times, such logs could harbor hidden wisdom. However, with the war on, I've sadly been unable to get my hands on the last of these recordings. All confidential, I'm afraid. Many are still under peer review, but I can assure you, their value is commensurate with, why, the discovery of gravity, or has the potential to be. Oh no, I couldn't possibly ask you to endanger yourself by seeking out these logs. Cloister is rather treacherous, and some of the chapels are difficult to reach by design. However, if you happened upon these chapels and recovered these logs, I would most certainly be interested in their contents. By my reckoning, the amount of logs to be collected is 4. You have that? 4. No more, no less. Each chapel should have at least one somewhere inside. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Impossible, I'm afraid. The Protectorate is rather well entrenched at present, and nothing short of an all-out siege is likely to dislodge them. If you're determined, I recommend consulting with the presiding bishop on the matter. She can tell you more. How do you know about that? I mean, that is quite the allegation. I deny it effusively. Yes, actually, now that you mention it, I would. As you have cleverly sussed out, Laplace's garden is the subject of an experiment into social conditioning, or curating, if you will, through the use of therapeutic pharmacology. We have been administering a pharmaceutical to the population of the garden via the water supply that aids in emotional regulation. We call it perspective. It's odorless, harmless. Well, apart from the withdrawal, but I can assure you we have our best minds working on that little issue. Minor complication at worst. Irritation, paranoia, increased desire to gamble. Oddly enough, all manageable conditions, of course. We are increasingly operating with fewer resources, however, and most regrettably, we've had to eject more and more subjects from the experiment in order to continue it. In a plan-perfected universe, we would have ample time to wean participants off perspective before sending them out of the garden. But, alas, we do not live in that universe. Yet. Fortunately, your discomfort is not a determining factor in the continuation of the program. Primarily, though not exclusively, because you don't live here, at any rate. I have no interest in debating the ethics of this experiment with a layperson. No offense. Don't we all? Nothing beyond what I already included in my 165-page summary of the incident. Why do you ask? His resignation has been duly received and accepted. Where he goes from here or what he does now is up to him. I expect we won't hear from him anytime soon. On a more positive note, the Department of Predictive Analysis's biennial summits will be far less contentious. Of course I do. That is precisely why my energy is better channeled toward the future, to ensure such tragic events never happen again. Landon Wiley was afflicted by that which strickens all scholars, the desire to effect change, to advance the plan at any cost. Were his methods wrong? Unequivocally. Should he have come to me with his concerns? Undeniably. But was his conclusion categorically sound? That remains debatable. Generally, yes. Although it's important to remember that unexpected outcomes can still arise from failed experiments. But let's move on to other topics, please. All this fractious talk is giving me a stomachache and... Oh, I just got rid of the last one. Oh, the garden is a marvel, isn't it? A prime example of how this colony could function if led by science and rationality instead of fear and oppression. Everything within the garden was meticulously selected by a committee of the Order's best archivists to provide for mental clarity and focus. My word, you should have seen the debates over the shrubbery. I've never witnessed such passionate discourse over foliage of all things. And what a history it is. The Order of the Ascendant, along with the Archive, has been headquartered on this moon since the founding of the colony. It was given to us by the matriarch herself. She understood how vital our contributions would be to Arcadian society, which some have forgotten. It is why we're here, in fact. Cloister has two things in abundance: ice and geothermal power. Both made it the ideal location for the archive, and we've utilized its vast computational power ever since. Who's to say it didn't? Do you think it mere coincidence the Order was ready to quit the Protectorate en masse the moment the invaders arrived? Seems statistically improbable. That's all I'll say. Welcome back, Agent. In what manner can I assist you? Oh, yes, I'm aware. Better to know the spy in our midst than receive a replacement more capable of evading notice. Besides, Miss Doyle's harmless, and she serves the best convictions at the parlor, bar none. Indeed. Who doesn't value a good reminder of their inherent value? Has she now? A little ahead of schedule. No matter. You should do as she asks. Get her that sample. This is an unparalleled opportunity to see the shape of Sub Rosa's web. We only need plant the right fly. After collecting the sample, mix it with this liquid tracer. It'll make the drug functionally inert and allow us to track it wherever it shows up next. Not as such, not at the moment. However, let me put it this way. Any potential for interference above null is worth keeping an eye on. I did not become the Oracle Laureate by getting caught with my pencil down. Here, take this key. It will grant you access to water reconditioning, which you can find on the eastern side of the garden. You will also need this passcode for the terminal inside.
Smart researchers patronize the scienticians. Quality goods at
I hope you have good news for me. I knew I had the right person for the job. You've saved me quite the headache. Your reward, as promised. You did sharpen my pencil, so I suppose sharpening yours is only fair. I'll put in a word with my associates to pass along to whatever Protectorate forces are on site to expect you. It's no guarantee, but at least they won't fire upon you on site. In exchange for my help, however, I want you to bring the data back here so that I can make a copy of it. Before you hand it over to the Order, to be clear. Do we have an accord? You've no doubt heard the phrase, knowledge is power. Sub Rosa benefits from all the knowledge it can acquire. I can tell you no more than that. We do work well together, don't we? Return here when you have the data. I'll be waiting.
Welcome back, Agent. I trust in what manner can I assist you? And how did she receive it? Indeed you are. A specimen of superb subterfuge. Pity the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection was shut down years ago. You'd have been a natural candidate.
Please. They'd never make it past the initial evaluation. The 48-hour concurrent theoretical debate /mathalon/obstacle course /marksmanship challenge weeds out most.
Always did find that evaluation a little immoderate. You made the right choice cooperating with the Order in this matter. Please accept this primer. It's a concoction of my own design. I foresee it being of great value to you. Well, I would not be a very good scientist if I kept my mind closed to other perspectives. Make your case, and I promise to listen. We would never allow that to happen. Perhaps I've kept myself from seeing how fraught this experiment truly is. Recent events have certainly provided good reason to update my risk metrics. Even a desire for progress may sometimes divide one from their senses. You've given me much to consider. I'll speak with the presiding bishop about the matter promptly.